what I really want to do, I'm very cognizant too now. There's a lot of newer Prince fans coming on to Prince in the last 7
Right,
years. So I
right.
sometimes I assume that they know all the stories and all that. But for those who don't, man, take us real quick back to just where it started. And, I think a lot of people getting into Prince will have seen Purple Rain, or maybe they're about to watch it. And you
Mhm.
guys even date back as far as Purple Rain, right? So
Yeah, that was our first spot, exactly.
slide me right in
And
real smooth, like how that whole thing started.
absolutely, one correction I'm going to make,
Okay.
I wouldn't say I was Prince's first MC. I'll say TC Ellis was probably the first MC
Okay.
that he gave a shot to,
Absolutely.
right?
You're right.
Right? Graffiti Bridge, so TC Ellis,
And shout out to
St.
TC.
Paul.
Good brother. Good.
Shout out to TC. So I wanted to make that little shout out to my brother.
My bad.
Um, no worries, man. Um, I so it really started weird. I know some people have heard this before, but those who are just coming on, we started out as dancers and choreographers, and down at First Avenue doing cabaret shows, dance contests, and Damon and I were a crew called To Be Rude, and we went down there one night, won the dance contest, and I think we won weekly for about five or 6 weeks straight.
Mm,
And then another crew came through called V Train. That was Kirk Johnson, Patrick Adams, and Zeke,
okay. Okay.
right? Scott March, right? So they came and knocked us off, and then they won for about 4 or 5 weeks straight. During all of that time, they were looking for extras for Purple Rain because they were getting ready to begin some of the concert footage. At the time, everybody in First Avenue, all those iconic videos that you see
Mhm.
in the movie Purple Rain, and we were we were there to be extras. And I remember probably the second day on the set, we were like, well, man, they haven't set up any concert footage yet. We haven't been called down to be just a face in the crowd because that's all we thought we were going to be. And one of the people came up and said, listen, they have enough extras for the concert footage. Do you guys mind being wranglers? And I'm like, wrangler? What the hell is a wrangler?
That's a Western type.
And for those of y'all not in the know, the business a wrangler is you gather people from the extra pool and
Hilarious.
you bring them in for the scenes, and then they pick people out, and then for those that they didn't pick, you take them back to the pool. So you wrangle extras. We weren't even gonna be
That
in the
means you ain't
movie,
gonna never
bruh.
be in the movie.
We ain't gonna ever be in the movie, bruh. And
Wow.
uh, after a couple of scenes, I think they were just getting ready to get into Prince's concert footage, and then the times. And Prince came into the bathroom in First Avenue, bro, and watched us. We were in there during, downtime in between camera shots and angles, and that takes a lot of time. So they were doing that. We were up in the bathroom just dancing with a little boombox.
Mm,
Prince walks in. True story. Walks in, bro. Doesn't say a word. Watches us for like 10 minutes. Doesn't say a word. Just smiling. And we didn't stop. We just kept doing our thing, right?
mm.
End of that night, Alan Leeds came up with a cassette and he said, "Hey," came to Damon. He said, "Were you the ones up there in the bathroom dancing?" Damon was like, "Yeah, man. I think we in trouble." He said, "Prince loved what you guys were doing. Was wondering if you could put some dance routines together through these songs."
Wow.
And I remember Damon running up to me, "Yo, don't, Alan Lee's just gave me this. That Prince wants us, blah blah blah." He was talking a mile a minute. If you've talked to Damon, you know how fast he can talk, right? And he was just going 100 miles an hour. And I'm like, "What?" Well, at that time, I had just been called uh, to do an extra shot. I think it was a sex shooter. I can't remember.
Oh, okay.
So there's this one scene in what Apollonia 6 doing sex shooter, and if you blinked or if you caught it at the right time, there was tone. That was my
I
one
didn't
scene.
know
I was
that.
like, bro,
Okay.
I'm like, yeah, yeah. If you go back and look at a sex shooter, you'll see me. I had the brush waves. I had the ocean going on
Oh,
up
let me
top.
go
So I was
watch
back
that.
in the day.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, bro. Yep, exactly. Um, so I told Dame, I said, man, let me finish the scene. So anyway, we wrapped up. Gave us a cassette. I pulled Kirk, uh, Damon, all of us back together, and we went to my mother's apartment in North Minneapolis, and she allowed us to move all of our furniture. Mama rest in peace.
yeah.
Um, and we put together 6 full songs. I mean, "Baby I'm a Star," "Jungle Love," "The Bird." Oh, geez, I can't even remember. There were 3 or 4 more. Computer Blue. I mean, we did a gamut, and I think that was Prince's always his test, right?
Mm.
He'll throw a bunch at you and just see what you come back with. Let me just smack them.
Mm,
and see what they're made of, right?
mm.
I think if we'd have had 1 or 2 done, he'd have been happy with that, but we came back with 6 full-fledged different routines.
Wow.
So we cut them all, up on that little balcony scene, cut them all. We did a bunch on the floor, on stage.
Hmm,
So we're like, "Man, we're gonna be all in this movie." So Prince calls us for the, premiere of Purple Rain, and he says, "I want you guys to premiere a song that I haven't performed yet. It's brand new. I'll be releasing it, but I don't want anybody to know it's me.
hmm.
And can you guys lip sync and do a dance routine to the track?" And I'm like, "Yeah, cool." So we went out to his rehearsal spot out in Eden Prairie at the time, and it was Erotic City,
That's a hit.
Erotic City,
That's crazy.
right? Bro, blew our mind, right? So here we are, bro. I'm freshly out of the Marine Corps,
Mm,
right? We're just now just starting to get our feel on this, right? We're still riding the high from Purple Rain
mm.
or being in Purple Rain. We hadn't seen the movie yet. And I remember we were getting ready to go to the premiere. Prince, gives us a call. We're getting ready to get in the limo and head over to the theater. And he says, "I just wanted to give you guys a heads up. You know, guys did great routines. The footage was awesome, but it started to look like we were making a breakdance movie."
Interesting.
So a lot of those routines were on the editing room floor.
Mm,
I'd love to see outtakes just to kind of see what some of that
right.
stuff is. I've never seen any of it, but that was our intro.